morning, everyone. I'm Vanessa, taking up business administration from Team 5 with the topic Building Effective Teams. Well, here are the 5 learning objectives after this topic. First one is difference between groups and teams. Second, formation and development of teams. The third is factors that lead to team effectiveness. And the fourth one is types of teams. The last one is advantage and disadvantages of teams. From the background of the topic, including key definitions, issues, and models, effective team is regarded as a critical component of organizational success across various industries. Organizations and leaders recognize the importance of fostering a collaborative culture, encouraging open communication, and leveraging the diverse skills and perspective of team members to achieve superior performance and innovation. Efforts to cultivate effective teams often involve target training, the implementation of collaborative tools and technologies, and the promotion of a supportive and inclusive work environment that values teamwork and collective achievement.
Good day, everyone. My name is Robin Tan. I'm a business administration student, and I'm here today to talk about groups and teams. So first, let us define what is a group. A group is a collection of individuals who interact with each other such that one person's actions have an impact on the others. In organizations, most work is done within groups. How group function has important implications for organizational productivity. Groups where people get along, feel the desire to contribute to the team, and are capable of coordinating their efforts may have high performance levels, whereas teams characterized by extreme levels of conflict or hostility may demoralize the members of the workplace. In organizations, there are two types of work groups: the informal and formal groups. Informal work groups are made up of two or more individuals who are associated with one another in ways not prescribed by the formal organization. On the other hand, a formal work group is made up of managers, subordinates, or both with close associations among group members that influence the behavior of individuals in the group. Now let's talk about teams. A team is a cohesive coalition of people working together to achieve mutual goals. Teams differ from other types of groups in that members are focused on a joint goal or product, such as a presentation, discussing a topic, writing a report, creating new design or prototype, or winning a team Olympic medal. Moreover, teams also tend to define by their relatively smaller size. So right now, we can say that a team is a small number of people with complementary skills who are committed to a common purpose, performance goals, and approach for which they are mutually accountable.
A group of two or more people can be considered a team when they interact and influence each other and have the same goals associated with the organizational objectives. Team permanence refers to how long such relationships would exist. Dispersion refers to the degree how which decision-making is tasked to each member of the group or some select few. Skill diversity is having team members with a wide range of knowledge, abilities, and perspectives, which leads to increased creativity, innovation, and problem-solving skills.
Now let's move to the types of teams. First is the functional teams. These teams are composed of individuals from the same department or area of specialization. For example, an HR team, a finance team, or a marketing team would fall under this category. Advantages for this type of teams are high level of expertise in a specific area, shared language and understanding, and efficient at tasks within their area of knowledge. Disadvantages are they may develop a silo mentality and lack of understanding of broader organizational goals. They can experience difficulty in communicating effectively with other functional teams due to different languages or understanding. These can lead to misunderstanding and miscommunication. Now let's move over to the second type of team, which is cross-functional teams. These teams consist of members from different departments. For example, a team working on a new product launch might include representatives from marketing, product development, sales, and customer service. Some advantages of this are there a diversity of perspectives, increased activity, creativity, and innovation, and can promote better coordination across departments. Disadvantages of this is that conflicts might arise due to different perspectives, and also there may be some struggle with communication, decision making due to the lack of shared language and understanding. Another type of teams is the self-directed teams. Advantages of this is that it increases motivation and commitment, gives opportunities for skill development, and are often more responsive and flexible. Disadvantages of this may struggle without clear direction, requires a high degree of trust from management, and has a potential for interpersonal issues or conflicts. Virtual teams are teams that work together remotely, often relying on technology for communication and collaboration. Advantages for this is it has greater flexibility, access to wider pool of talent, and reduced overhead costs. Disadvantages for this is the lack of face-to-face interaction and that could lead to communication issues and the feeling of isolation, and also requires self-discipline and effective time management. Project teams. These teams are assembled to complete a specific project and usually disband once the project is completed. Advantages for this is that they have a clear focus on specific goal. It enables the organization to tackle multiple projects simultaneously. Disadvantages for this are team members may lack commitment if they know the team is temporary. It also arises conflicts due to different perspectives or competing priorities. The last type of teams is the management or executive teams. These teams consist of top-level managers and executives, and they make strategic decisions that affect the entire organization. Advantages for this is that they can make high-level decisions quickly, have a broad view of organizational goals and strategies. Disadvantages: they can be disconnected from day-to-day operations and employees' perspectives. Has a potential for groupthink, where critical thinking may be devalued in favor of consensus. The dynamic nature of today's business environment necessitates the use of diverse structures within the workplace. Functional, cross-functional, self-directed, virtual, project and management teams all offer unique benefits and face distinct challenges. The key to maximizing team effectiveness lies in understanding these intricacies and selecting the right team structure for each specific task or project. However, irrespective of the type of team, it's imperative that clear communication, mutual respect, effective leadership, and a shared vision are fostered within these teams. This not only boosts team morale, but also enhances productivity, leading to the overall success of the organization. Now, let's talk about Tuckman's stages of group development. Bruce Tuckman, an American organizational psychologist, presented a robust model in 1965 that is still widely used today. This theory has 5 stages: the forming, storming, norming, performing model, and adjourning phase. Now let's talk about each phases one by one. For the forming stage, the group comes together for the first time. The members may already know each other or they may be total strangers. In either case, there is a level of formality, some anxiety, and a degree of guardedness as group members are not sure what is going to happen next. Will I be accepted? What will be my role be? Who has the power here? These are some of the questions participants think about during this stage of group formation. Some observable behaviors are politeness, tentative joining, orienting with others personally, avoids controversy, attempts to define tasks, processes, and how it will be decided here, and discussion of problems not relevant to the task. Some may feel excited, optimistic, and full of anticipation. Others may feel suspicious, fearful, and anxious working with others. Here, we need to establish team mission and vision, establish specific objectives and tasks, identify roles and responsibilities of team members, establish team ground rules, learn about team member expectations, establish guidelines for the team, and set group meetings. The next stage is the storming stage. This stage begins to occur as the process of organizing tasks and processes surface interpersonal conflicts. Leadership, power, and structural issues dominate this stage. In this stage, we can see that some members argue, relay differences in points of view and personal style, may lack role clarity, power struggles and clashes, establish unrealistic goals, and have concern over excessive work. In this stage, members also feel the increase in tension and jealousy, has fluctuations in attitude about the team, resistance to tasks, and some may feel defensive about their work. In this stage, team needs to resolve conflict, give and receive feedback from each other, build inter and intrapersonal relationships, clarify and understand the team's purpose, and learn how to deal with some team members violating team codes of conduct. In order to progress to the next stage, group members must move from a testing and proving mentality to a problem-solving mentality. Now let's answer the situational problem. You have team members that often argue and they struggle to work together effectively. What could be causing this and how can you mitigate the issue? The answer? The team is likely in the storming stage of development, where interpersonal conflicts surface. Encourage them to have an open dialogue, mediate conflicts, and establish ground rules for collaboration. And also, be sure to offer support and praise. The next stage is norming. In this stage, Team members are creating new ways of doing and being together. As the group develops cohesion, leadership changes from one teammate in charge to shared leadership. Team members learn they have to trust one another for shared leadership to be effective. We can see here that processes and procedures are being agreed upon, members are being comfortable with each other, learning how to be effective in conflict resolution, and they develop team routines. Members in this stage also feel the sense of belonging to a team. The confidence is high, and they feel a general sense of trust. They feel more relaxed and they feel the freedom to express and contribute. The major task function of stage 3, norming, is the data flow between group members. They share feelings and ideas, solicit and give feedback to one another, and explore actions related to the tasks. Creativity in this stage is very high. Collaboration emerges during this stage when teamwork ethic and shared leadership is understood. The major drawback of this stage is that members may begin to fear the inevitable future of breakup of the team. They may resist change of any sort. So how can you create a culture of trust and open communication within your team? Is it A, maintain a culture of secrecy? B, encourage open and honest conversations, actively listening to each other, and being transparent? C, isolate team members? Or D, establish strict hierarchies? The correct answer is encourage open and honest conversations, actively listening, and being transparent. Building trust and open communication in a team is achieved by fostering an environment where team members feel comfortable sharing ideas and concerns. This is also seen in the norming stage, where the confidence level of team members are building. Team members feel a new ability to express criticism constructively. They see the freedom to express and contribute, and a sense of belongingness to a team. Now let's answer another situational problem. Your team is frequently missing project deadlines, and team members seems disengaged. What might be the issue and how can you address it? The correct answer? The team may lack clear goals or motivation. To address this, establish SMART goals, improve communication, and boost team morale. The team also needs to re-establish roles and ground rules, and should learn how to effectively listen to one another. The fourth stage of Tuckman's group development is performing. True interdependence is the norm of this stage of group development. The team is flexible as individuals adapt to meet the needs of other team members. This is a highly productive stage both personally and professionally. In this stage, roles are clearer, the team is fully functional, and has a better understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses. Each member shows a high commitment to their work, begins to understand the importance of collaborative work ethic, and feels empathy for one another. Here we should learn that the performing stage is not reached by all groups. If group members are able to evolve to stage 4, their capacity, range, and depth of personal relations expand to true interdependence. In this stage, people can work independently in subgroups, or as a total unit with equal competencies. The last phase is the adjourning. In this stage, typically team members are ready to leave, causing significant change to team structure, membership, or purpose and the team during the last week of class. This is also applicable to the workplace, where someone can be leaving the company, moving to another department, or a project-based work. Some members may show visible signs of grief, restless behavior, and bursts of extreme energy usually followed by lack of energy. Some may feel sad, and some may feel relieved because it is over. The final stage, adjourning, involves the termination of task behaviors and disengagement from relationships. A planned conclusion usually includes recognition of participation and achievement and an opportunity for members to say personal goodbyes. Concluding a group can create some apprehension, in effect, a minor crisis. The termination of the group is a regressive movement from giving up control to giving up inclusion in a group. Now let's talk about punctuated equilibrium model. According to Niels Eldredge and Stephen Gould, punctuated equilibrium model is a theory according to which species evolve slowly by means of a successive slight mutations. They both believe that evolution occurred in radical spurts rather than gradually over time. To ensure a good understanding of the punctuated equilibrium model, it is necessary to briefly describe the context of its emergence in the United States. This model is rooted in pluralism, an approach that has dominated American political science for nearly 100 years. According to pluralism, due to the limited attention, time, and expertise of decision makers, power tends to be distributed among more specialized subsystems, where decisions that are often considered rather technical or routine are made. Thus, at all levels of government, federal, state, or local, subsystems tend to be created. There are too many of these subsystems to enumerate. They touch on subjects as varied as affording housing, public transit, immunization, and access to books. Each subsystem is typically composed of a small number of concerned actors, usually specialists from the government, industry, and civil society. For example, in the case of immunization, the subsystem would include, in particular, the following participants: civil servants, institutional directors, professional orders, unions, pharmaceutical companies, researchers, users associations, and civil rights defense groups. These subsystems are often highly autonomous and largely unconstrained by public opinion and democratic forces. As such, they tend to offer enormous benefits to large economic concerns, which have the resources to assert their interests. Change during these periods is incremental, largely due to the resistance to change that arises when systems take root and processes become institutionalized. In this model, revolutionary change occurs in brief, punctuated bursts, generally catalyzed by a crisis or a problem that breaks through the systemic inertia and shakes up the deep organizational structures in place. At this point, the organization or group has the opportunity to learn and create new structures that are better aligned with current realities. Whether the group does this is not guaranteed. For organizations and groups who understand that disruption, conflict, and chaos are inevitable in the life of a social system, these disruptions represent opportunities for innovation and creativity. Group cohesion. Cohesion can be thought of as a kind of a social glue. It refers to the degree of camaraderie within a group. Cohesive groups are those in which members are attached and act as one unit. Within groups, not all individuals will benefit equally from being social. Differences in the benefits received from being a group member are particularly prevalent in stable groups with linear dominance hierarchies. Subordinates often suffer fitness and consequences from associating with dominant individuals. The benefits of a group cohesion include reduced risk of conflict, access to social information from the group, or being able to copy the decisions of more experienced individuals. Within group, individuals can associate non-randomly and prefer certain associates over others while choosing to avoid others. Associating more selectively may allow them to avoid attacks and interference from authoritarian individuals or to work more efficiently due to decreased competition. However, if associating more selectively results in breaking from the group consensus, leading to a decrease in group cohesion or loss of contact within the group, these could lead to increased conflict or work interruptions. Taken to extremes, this might also result in the breaking of groups into smaller subgroups. Social loafing. Social loafing refers to the behavior in which an individual tends to exert less effort when working with others than when working alone. Since social awareness would be automatically reduced in a group setting, a team or a group setting would naturally be a hatch ground for social loafing. When individuals are doing their share in a group, some may be suspicious of and distrust from their fellow group members arises with suspicion of others not making their respective contributions. Moreover, when an individual's contributions to a group work are being unfairly judged, the effort he makes usually will be adjusted accordingly to reflect his perceptions of fairness and thus more liable to loafing behavior. Effectively managing project knowledge to make proactive and timely decisions can have a positive impact on various aspects of project performance in terms of quality, time, and cost. Dictated by the human nature to get more with less sweat, individuals in a group are inclined to participate passively in information exchange activities, hoarding other participants' knowledge contributions rather than actively engaging in making their own contributions. To avoid this process threat of reduced effort in knowledge contribution, which in turn may impede group and organizational productivity, it is a top priority to pinpoint the factors that may contribute to it. There are some factors to consider to reduce the risk of social loafing. Number one is clear definition of each member's tasks. By listing down all the tasks to be done and making a time schedule when it should be done. Second is right number of individuals for a certain task. Assigning the right number of individuals so that everyone will not feel unneeded and to finish the task effectively and efficiently. Third is good communication within members. This is important to avoid miscommunication and misunderstanding. Fourth is build strong bonds within the group. Members in a group feel more committed and tend to do better when strong relationships bonds are developed. Next is feeling of needed by assigning tasks properly. Assigning tasks properly and designating it to the group members makes them feel wanted and needed in the group. Lastly, make the task engaging and rewarding. Making tasks engaging builds cohesiveness within the group, and rewarding their work makes them more focused and dedicated. Now let's answer this situational problem. Team members are afraid to share their innovative ideas due to a fear of failure. How can you encourage innovation in your team? The answer? Create a culture that values experimentation and learning from failure. Celebrate small wins, provide resources for innovation, and allow for risk taking. Collective efficacy. Collective efficacy refers to a group's perception of its ability to successfully perform well. Human behavior is extensively more motivated and regulated through the exercise of group influence. Among the mechanisms of group influence, none is more focal or pervading than belief in each other's efficacy. Unless people believe that they can produce desired effects and forestall undesired ones by their actions, they have little incentive to act or to persevere in the face of difficulties. Whatever other factors may serve as guides and motivators, they are rooted in the core belief that one has the power to produce desired results. Efficacy beliefs affect the group, motivation and action through their impact on goals and aspirations. It is partly on the basis of efficacy beliefs that people choose what goal challenges to undertake, how much effort to invest in the endeavor, and how long to persevere in the face of difficulties. So, how will we know if a team is effective? A team is effective when it benefits the organization and its members and survives long enough to accomplish its mandate. Team effectiveness, also referred to as team performance, is a team's capacity to achieve its goals and objectives. This capacity to achieve goals and objectives leads to improved outcomes for the team members. For example, team member satisfaction and willingness to remain together, as well as outcomes produced or influenced by the team. In a science team, for example, the outcomes include new research findings or methods and may also include translational applications of the research. Now let's talk about the factors to consider when designing an effective team. First is the team size. It refers to the number of individuals needed to accomplish a task. First, team size. It refers to the number of individuals needed to accomplish a task. Having a lot of people in a team may lead to social loafing. Having less might mean a heavier load for the team. The team size should always be matched to the goal of the team. Second, team composition. It refers to what are the roles needed to fill for the team. It also talks about the qualification needed to reach the end goal. A selection process should be done to determine who is qualified and needed for the team. Third, team diversity. Team diversity also go hand in hand with team composition. Complementary skill is a vital piece needed for a team to be successful. Diversity in teams helps in creativity and effective solutions because members with different backgrounds, competencies, and qualifications sees a wider picture of the goal. The more diverse a team is in terms of expertise, gender, age, and background, the more ability the group has to avoid the problems of groupthink. Now, let's have a recap of what we've learned. By identifying the key characteristics of an effective team. Is it A, individual achievement? B, trust, communication, and collaboration? C, micromanagement? Or D, autonomy? The correct answer is B, trust, communication, and collaboration. Effective teams are characterized by trust, open communication, and collaboration. These factors contribute to synergy and better team performance, as highlighted in various team effectiveness models and research.
Group members differ with respect to the information and expertise they bring to the table. Groups may outperform individuals in terms of the quality of the decisions they reach. Organizations therefore increasingly rely on cross-functional work groups and project teams in an attempt to stimulate innovation, solve problems, and make decisions. Often, informational diversity within such teams comes hand in hand with differences on other dimensions, such as demographic characteristics and deeply held values and beliefs. A central social, political, and economic challenge confronting the European Union today arises from the tensions created by the growth of the immigrant populations, particularly those from the predominantly Muslim countries. An alternative explanation for higher minority unemployment may be gleaned from the intercultural communication and sociolinguistics literatures. According to this hypothesis, minority job candidates struggle to make themselves understood due to differences in discourse systems. For example, a candidate's behavior during interview may be quite revealing to an employer if they share the same social or cultural background. But if they do not, it can be much harder for the employer to form an accurate opinion about the applicant. Of course, matching the background of the interviewer with the background of the candidate would solve this problem. However, more often than not, this may be quite difficult to implement. First, in organizations lacking diversity, minorities are scarce to begin with. Second, it should not be forgotten that the various minorities are culturally highly diverse, thus requiring a very careful matching between the evaluator and the evaluee. For instance, while French-speaking West African and an African American are both people of color, it seems quite clear that they do not share the same discourse.
Your team lacks diversity, and you believe that a broader range of perspectives would improve performance. How can you promote diversity in your team? The right answer is actively seek diverse candidates during recruitment, foster an inclusive environment, and promote diversity as a core value in your organization. When people come from different backgrounds, have a variety of life experiences, and see the world in unique ways, multiple perspectives are brought to the table. People from a variety of backgrounds offer a handful of solutions rather than one uninspired solution which is based on the same cultural voice. Diverse teams naturally eliminate the standard of approach to problem solving.
Hi, my name is Maria Queen Olutosin. I'm a BA student at SAIT.
Team roles. A role is a set of expected behavior that people are expected to perform in a team, society, or organization because they hold specific formal or informal position. Within a role, there is a role identity, role perception, role expectation, and role conflict. These four plays a vital role in teamwork. It's important to note that individuals can exist multiple roles, and these roles can change over time depending on the situation and the needs of the team. Effective teams often have a balanced distribution of these roles to ensure optimal performance and collaboration. What are the roles? We have coordinator, which are the chairperson. This individual helps the team to stay on track, ensures everyone's voice is heard, and facilitates decision making. The shaper role. The shaper role is dynamic and assertive, challenging the team to perform at its best. They may sometimes be seen as proactive, but often stimulate action. Number 3, we have the implementer role. They are practical and reliable. They turn ideas into concrete plans and ensure that work is executed efficiently. We also have completer or finisher roles. These individuals have a keen eye for details and are committed to delivering high quality results. They focus on eliminating errors and meeting deadlines. We also have team worker, which are the dual roles. They are cooperative, diplomatic, and perceptive of others' needs. They help to maintain harmony within the team and within the group. We also have the last one, which are the resource investigator roles. These roles are outgoing and enthusiastic. They explore opportunities, make external content, and bring fresh ideas and information to the team. They also help connect the team with people, groups, or other stakeholders outside the group and outside the team. They think of connectors as boundary spanners. They ensure good working relationship between the teams and outside the teams.
There are unwritten rules that govern social behavior within a group or society. They are essential for maintaining order, promoting cooperation, and shaping cultural values. As new employees learn to understand and share the assumptions, norms, and values that are part of an organization culture, they also must learn the norms of their immediate team. Norms are a powerful way of ensuring coordination within a team. For example, is it acceptable to be late for meetings? How prepared are you supposed to be at the meetings? Is it acceptable to criticize someone else's job? These norms are shaped early during the life of a team and affect whether the team is productive, cohesive, and successful. They encourages group cohesion. They keep expectations fair. They allow self-policing. They set and maintain the workplace culture. They provide a framework for adapting to new situations, and they also help new team.
Team cohesion. Team cohesion is used as a measurement of how well team members work together. When every member understands its role, uses its strength, and is committed to the team's goals, then there is team cohesion. It can also be considered the strength and extent of interpersonal connections among the members of the group or team. This bond allows members to participate and remain motivated to achieve the team's goals. What influences team cohesion? The first one is values and attitude similarity. In general, people who share the same values often unite and collaborate. We always prefer and join with people who have the same beliefs, opinions, and code of conduct, as this provides social validation. A specific goal can be a cohesive agent as well, as a team unites in groups to accomplish and finish it. The second one is group size. Smaller groups tend to be more cohesive than larger ones. In smaller groups, there is a high degree of interaction and communication, which helps in the cohesiveness and unity of the group. In larger groups, as members increase, differing ideas or opinions occur. As always, it is quite easy to convince fewer people than that of a group of 30 or 40. A larger group also often forms a smaller group or clique that may have different ideas or agenda contrary to the group's consensus. The last one is time. Generally, the more time the members spend together, the more they become cohesive. In this way, they can also learn more about each member's capabilities. The more a leader knows about the members, the more he/she can actually use appropriate tasks and responsibilities for the team's goals. Groupthink. Groupthink happens when members of a group decide on an illogical or substandard course of action because of the pressure of going against it and the difficulty of disagreeing. Usually occurs when several members of the group prioritize harmony and coherence instead of critical thinking. The term was coined by psychologist Irving Jennings in research on group decision making under stress. When groupthink happens, they tend to observe that members refrain from disagreeing from a consensus and often ignore moral and ethical consequences. Why can it be dangerous? In minor cases, it may result in a decision not based on ideal or critical information. In serious situations, especially when prioritizing a goal, worse consequences may happen that may lead to destruction and death, such as in the military and politics. How it can be recognized? It usually may occur in decision making, especially when it's rushed and everybody's pressured. It can also happen when groups feel threatened with their identity, developing an us against them mentality. This would enable members of the group to accept group perspectives instead of personal or critical views. To avoid or at least minimize group thinking, issues must be fully discussed, and each member needs to share their ideas and thoughts. Learning about cognitive biases also helps in determining and addressing groupthink. Having the leader step back during decisions can be a good measure of avoiding groupthink. This way, members can debate the decisions, and this eliminates the fear of disagreeing with the leader. To avoid common problems and to facilitate continual improvement of the team, a team contract is used to jumpstart all team members working together. This in turn will enhance the performance, satisfaction, and learning of the group. Discussions and agreements on some important terms are required when setting up a team contract. What can we put inside a team contract? Name and the section. It's imperative that all team members for the project are included. Initial source signatures are required to confirm each member's agreement on norms set within the team contract. The next one is goal. What would be the team's goal for this project? The purpose of the team. Role. What can be each member's role? Will each role be constant or flexible according to the scenarios played while doing the project? The leadership style must be considered as well. We have norms. What can we expect when each member is doing the project? We have two uh, scenarios for this. The first one is communication. The schedule of the meet the schedule of the meetings. Will it be weekly, at least twice a week? The team is comprised of individuals who have different work schedules. Will it be face to face or via online platforms? Some members may be fine. Platforms to use when submitting assigned parts. Will it be by email or through platforms such as Teams or Messenger? The team may choose one depending on access and convenience. And then we have guidelines. How can a decision be made? How can performance and contributions be measured? And then we have conflict management. There should be strategies that the team can use to resolve conflict or differences within the group. There should also be parameters that the leader can look up when there are non-cooperating or underperforming members. And then we have outside commitments, like work. Each member may have prior or outside commitments that may impact his or her contributions to the group. This affects the individual's ability to work on the project.
So, what is the importance of a team contract? A team contract serves as a binding document for groups. Group members should uphold what's written in a team contract and follow all agreements between team members. By making a team contract, it allows the members to know the do's and don'ts in working in a team.